Jim Preston, and I'm going to take you on a tour of the our van back here. It's a 2022 mid-roof, obviously a Transit, all-wheel drive, and EcoBoost engine. It's a 130-inch wheelbase, a short one. Certainly different than what most people have. We upholstered the inside. So on the outside you can see, we have the Van Compass hooks for off-roading. We have the KO2, BF Goodrich KO2 tires, Method racing wheels down here. So pretty much standard for anybody who's going to do off-roading. Up on top we have the Fiamma 45S. It's a bit of a trick to mount these on a mid-roof van. So I had to design my own brackets, and I cover that in a separate video. Down here we decided to not have steps because, again, off-roading, we want all the clearance we can between the tires. And so we have this little portable stool thing we got off of Amazon. And we're going to go inside and figure all that out in a few minutes. But let's take a look out here first. And coming around the back, we boost, and it works very well for us. Of course, we're in open terrain here, but still there's a bunch of rock ridges between us and the nearest cell tower, and we get like 3 bars with both Verizon and AT&T. We seep sideways. It'll go up to 6 foot 3 inches between the windows, but effectively it's less than that. And I'm 5'10.5" now, lost an inch in life so far. As you get older, that's what happens. Live with it. So there's 2 levels of storage that we wanted in the back here, and they're both 14 inches high. And you can see what we stock here. There's water on the left. We got each one of those blue containers is 2.5 gallons. We have the Julka shower right here, and the propane tank is in the wooden box. It's vented out down here at the bottom. Let's see if we can get in and see that a bit right here. So it's vented out there, which is good. It doesn't get much dust there. And out here in the desert, we do a lot of desert driving, and dust is a really big deal. And it works out really well. And we can stand right here. We have some rubber tiles we put down. They're 1 foot by 1 foot. Got them at Costco a long time ago. And we put those down, and if there's nobody around, we can just take a shower right there. If there's somebody around, we have the Julka tent, suite or something they call it. Anyway, it's a tent for privacy. Of course, on the back, we put the, we had to change a tire in the middle of nowhere. Once the stock tires, one of them blew out the sidewall and the rocks, so that's when we got the KO2s, like days later. But we're set up, of course, with a shovel and traction boards and that kind of thing. Sort of pretty much the usual stuff. Now, because we're off-roading, we didn't want to have we wanted to keep the weight as low as possible, because you get into some situations where low as possible is really, really good. So there's no cabinets up high. There's no rack on top with solar panels. We just don't need them. We use a trickle charger on the house battery, and that works just fine for our use. We're not sitting for days on end trying to camp in it. And the propane, made up my own box. Got the little latches here, weather stripping in between. So that's all really nice. Works fine. The propane tank's not venting. I've never seen it vent, or if it did, it came out here, and we never noticed it on the interior anyway. So these boxes, we were using these in our old Ford Aerostar camper vans. And they're, let me just get in close so you can see if you want to do the same thing as us. You've got, these are the Sterilite 30-quart boxes. And they've just worked out perfect, because what we do is when we need, and when we're done with the trip, we unpack easily and take the stuff inside that we want. The boots and all can stay out here. But then we fill them up inside, clean things, clean the dishes, whatever else, and then it's very easy and very fast just to slide them all back in here and we go. So here's portable toilet right here. So we got shower, we got toilet. Almost never use the toilet. We're usually close enough to trailheads and campgrounds. There's toilets all over the Southwest, or all over the West really. So anyway, you get an idea what goes back here and how this works. Now this is a big curtain that hangs over the back. We attach it with magnets up there, and it hangs over the back. And it's and we decided to do, instead of trying to insulate the doors, which is quite tricky, we decided just to use these big, like, comforters. I sewed all these, by the way. All the window covers I sewed, and then Katya did some work putting some of the stuff together. But mostly it was my sewing. So as you can see, it's just plywood down there, and this is a platform bed off of Amazon. What's it called? Full size bed frame. Fits nicely between the windows, and I just put some 2x4 plywood under here so that we can put a queen size or a full size mattress, I'm sorry, on that. So it's a twin bed and a full size mattress. Get that right, huh? Okay, let's go around over here. Look what Katya's doing. She's gonna make a nice picnic lunch for us out here. Yeah, she's burning our Christmas tree for firewood there. Okay, on the inside, again, we have one of these insulated curtains, and they work like super good, even in really cold weather. So getting around on the inside here, down the floor you'll see a heater. We use either Mr. Buddy or this one here goes to a lower. This time of the year, it's March right now, it's not that cold, so we use a little Flame King heater down there. Propane is right back there beyond the Yeti cooler. So a little tense. And then here's my electric wall down here with propane and sensor and a CO2 sensor and the WeBoost booster and 110 circuit if I plug into an RV park or campground or where we can plug in. Then I can run electric heat. We have electric heater. And of course the Max Air controller and a pretty much worthless gauge there on the charge for the battery. The house battery is right behind it, and then a couple of 12 volters. Power outlets which we can use. So we have the swivel seats. Both of them swivel. Oh, we're not using the driver's seat much because my wife prefers to be back here, and she makes like a lounge back here on these, what are they? Patio furniture cushions. And this little table, it's a folding table, so if we need to put the mountain bikes in here, we can fold it and kind of get it out of the way a little bit, although that gets pretty tricky. Closet, we probably could do some work on the closet. That's just doesn't look good, but effectively hang our stuff there. Now our chairs, our outside chairs, are all like right here and ready to deploy, and the shaft there is for the awning. So water is, both of us have water up by our beds, head of the beds, and a little place to hang things and put our glasses or iPhones and all that sort of thing. The Max Air up here. Now the windows, we installed 3 RV windows, ordered them from Motion Windows in Vancouver, Washington, and installed those. And there's the bunk windows in the back, very traditional bunk windows. We haven't had, some people don't like these particular sliding ones because they think the rain comes in, but man, we've been in some storms in the Rockies and no rain has come in. Now, what I really want to show you, let me get back here a bit. Oh, and this is on the floor, not this guy, but over here, that's van rug. And you just, like, it was like $250, shows up in a box. You roll it out, it's already cut, everything's ready, and you just got a floor that's somewhat insulated immediately. It takes like 3 minutes to position it, and that's it. The floor is done. Our kind of thing. Now, we're going to get into the harder part here, I think. And that was, we decided to upholster the walls and ceiling. And that was because we wanted insulation, and we wanted something very light, because we wanted to keep the vehicle build as light as possible for off-roading. Anyway, it's all, there's little bloopers. We didn't quite This corner didn't quite come out like we wanted in here, but everything's held with Velcro. You can see some Velcro right there. Everything's held with Velcro. Katya wanted to put leather here, so she did the leather there. And so all through here is very nicely insulated, upholstered. A little tricky up here. Didn't quite all get our measurements right every time, but that's fine. Now, during the summer, let me just diverse a little bit. During the summer, we take off these big covers, these curtains, and we just use magnets to hold up some curtains over the windows. If we want some privacy, some places we go, it doesn't matter. Now the upholstery, I've got photos of putting that together, and I'll explain that with a voiceover and add that to the video, of course. But see, our electrical comes down here, and so far we're just using this cheap LED lighting around there, and then up here are the 2 cargo lamps that come with it, but I disengaged them from the door. So I have a switch on the wall over here that controls those guys. Because I didn't, you're camping, you don't want the lights to come on like every time. You want to go out and pee at 1 o'clock in the morning. You don't need to light up the whole place and disturb your partner's sleep. So, did I cover everything? No, not yet. One more thing is what's under here. So these just get moved. Oh, and all of these are window covers. This is the ones for the front windows and all that. We didn't care about excluding light, so that didn't matter to us because we're not like urban camping or something. Underneath here is storage, and all kinds of stuff goes there. So there's a house battery in the back. Here's the electrical all wired up here. I'm pretty comfortable with 12 volt because I used to be a lineman for Pacific Gas and Electric and dealt with up to 24,000 volts hot. So yeah, 12 volt doesn't bother me at all. Down in there's a little black box. It's a Road Pro 12 volt oven. It looks like a lunch pail. Wife loves it, absolutely loves it, uses it all the time. We have 2 Coleman stoves, one single burner, and the other one is a double burner, and we just mix those up as we need them. Wife takes whatever she wants. So ordinarily all back here is going to be boxes when we're camping. We're not camping today, we just came out for a picnic, but that's where there's going to be, all these boxes, and she pulls out her kitchen stuff and her personal and all that here. Okay, have I forgot anything? This is my prime engineering pride. So there is nothing holding up these panels except by tension. There's no glues or screws holding walls or ceiling at all. Riv nuts, all that. I mean, I looked at all this stuff for months before we got our van and spent a lot of time on YouTube, and I didn't like anything. So this is our vision. And up there, the panels they're polypro. They bend, unlike a lot of the foam boards you get at Lowe's or Home Depot. And I think it was 1/2 inch I took, something like that. And then on top of that is Insulated. And on top of that is Easy Cool. And that's a reflective type material, like Reflectix. And this redwood lath all through here, they're all holding up with tension to the sides over here on both sides. They're holding up those panels beautifully. No matter how much rocky we get and how much this van jumps around, they hold perfectly without one bit of effort to keep them in place. So they're 5/8 of an inch longer than the width, and that turned out to be the ideal. So when I want to remove a panel, let's say I put the GMRS radio in here and had to put an antenna up and wire it up and so forth, I just push up there, pull down on one of these sides, this side over here, and then I could just take the whole panel off and then just put it back up again. Individually, don't need help, really easy, and the panels are super lightweight. So if you're going to do off-roading in a van and get serious about it, I would certainly take a look at having this upholstering. Now, good luck finding an upholstery shop that'll do it. You probably have to just do it yourself. I took it into one and they panicked and I gave up. So as the weather improves around here, this big insulated curtain comes down and we drop the bug wall because there's little biting gnats out here in the desert. And of course we get into the Rockies, there's mosquitoes, but the mosquitoes aren't bad at all. I mean, well, I lived in Alaska, okay? But even worse than that is Yosemite backcountry and above Lake Tahoe and on July 4th weekend. It's worse than I ever experienced in Alaska. So our goal was a cozy camping van, not a motorhome, and we feel very much that we've achieved that. It stays warm in the winter, and it's a delight in the summer. We have two bug walls, one on the slider door and one on the back, and they're called V-Bug Wall out of South Carolina, and they work excellent. These are puffy, well-insulated window covers. They don't roll up, so they just lay on the bed in the back, but they work super. They're held there with magnets. Old guys can learn to sew, and I managed to pull it off over a lot of time and effort. And my mistakes ended up being all these little curly things when I forget to put the foot down, which I forgot to put the foot down frequently. I decided to use these little sewing clips instead of pinning everything. Pinning just wasn't working out for me very well. There was one disaster after another. My work area was in the living room. It took up a lot of space. There's stuff laying everywhere. Disaster for a lot of months. So the base, the main part of the upper panels, the ceiling panels, are polypro. So I thought I'd throw in a photo here just so you could order it, get it at Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere. We have Easy Cool, which is something like Reflectix, but I think it's better. It's recommended by Far Outride, and you can get it on Amazon pretty easy. But it's the base layer, it's the outside layer for all our wall coverings and the ceiling panels. We use the Easy Cool for a template. We cut out the Easy Cool, and that was a template for cutting out the 3M Thinsulate 600M, which is available again on Amazon. I'm using the Easy Cool template here to cut the foam and the Duramax fabric. This is our wall layers, so you can see the Easy Cool and the Thinsulate, and then a 1/4 inch of closed cell foam, because that just kind of smoothed it out and gave it a little more puffy, a little more finished look. And then the Duramax fabric above that. And the Duramax fabric actually came from National Upholstery. They're real good about supplying that, and they got a huge selection of colors for you. And in this photo there, I'm preparing it for Katya to do her magic and glue everything together. Then Katya does her gluing job with the 3M90 spray adhesive. We tried the 77, I think it was, and it didn't work at all. It fell apart pretty quick. The 90 works great. Industrial strength heavy-duty Velcro is what holds the wall panels on, and I doubled it up so that I have some airflow behind the panels, kind of let the moisture dry out. You can see the example here with the Velcro, but also this is my window cover, one of them. The window covers are built out the same way as the wall panels, and they provide a lot of insulation. It gets toasty in there fast. The result, after many tries and different prototyping and driving off on trips and trying things, is the cozy van of our dreams. It's cozy and we love it. When I was done shooting for this video, Katya had a very tasty shish kebab lunch ready for me, and she'll do that in all of our overlanding adventures. She's a gourmet cook.